We all want to make films. 3 pillars. Pre-production, 1. On-set execution, 2. And post-production. So a lot of times people hear pre-production and we know, oh yeah, we need to prepare, for the shoot. But do you do the right preparation before you start to shoot? Pre-production is crucial as it lays the groundwork for any project, ensuring clarity in vision, scheduling, resource allocation before filming. I've done 260 episode shows, 130 episode shows. Let me specifically talk about the last film I did, which is called Osamede. So just for us to shoot for 14 days, we pre-produced for 6 months. And what were the things that we did in that 6 months? First things first, script. The script was given to me. I didn't like the script. And then we had to go into another workshop. And in that workshop, when we're rewriting the script, there are a lot of things that we're thinking about. Who do we want to play the role? Where do we want to film? How many people do we want in each scene? What is the cast strength like? What do the costumes look like? Unfortunately, I didn't bring my laptop out. I'll show you some other things. But what do the costumes look like? And so during pre-production, even after we've written the script, there is a reimagining of the story, or something we call previs. And what we usually do during that period is that we try to imagine how we want the show to look like. So things like character concept art. In this concept art, we're drawing what the costumes will look like, what the sets will look like. How do I want this costume to be? And I do it for all my shows. This character, is he wearing t-shirt, or is he wearing jeans, or is he wearing traditional, do you understand? And then some artist draws it, and then we look at the options before we choose. We don't go on set to say, oh, what's Toib wearing today? Green. I don't like the green. Oh. You know what, do you have another color? But we're on set. You're asking me, do I have another color? What if I don't have another color? Do you get? So a lot of things, even like color palettes. If you see, sorry again, I didn't prepare to bring those slides, but in every of the scenes that we've shot on the film, the major color palette we had in that film was brown, like earth brown. So even in the costumes, there's a shade of that brown. On the floor, on the wall, there's a shade of the brown. Even in the props, there's a shade. So it almost feels like there's a predominant color. It was all planned. Hairstyles, how the sets will be built, especially because of camera movements. Right? How many people are in each scene? What's the total number of actors? How are we doing food? How are we doing hotels? How are we doing logistics? Do you get? So for instance, we shot Osamede somewhere in Edo State in a place called Osamede. Osamede is 4 hours away from Benin. So you need to fly people, then you need to transport people, especially, and during that period, there was, till now, there was kidnapping, because they almost kidnapped us. So when we're going again, you have to prepare for military. And so you get military, like a military convoy, all that stuff, how they be fed, where we're stopping, it's all part of pre-production. So that you don't have a set that something is going to happen. Even things like rain. Even though you can't predict when rain will fall, but there's something that they call Murphy's Law. Who's heard of Murphy's Law before? Murphy's Law means anything that will go wrong will go wrong. So there's sometimes the sun is shining like this, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to film, man. You go outside, next thing, brrr, brrr. Do you get? And I know this sounds funny, but even with rain, who is the rain doctor or which doctor in that area? You collect his number. Do you get? I'm serious, there's one guy, they're like, rain, don't worry, just 30K per wine, we'll do it. And the rain won't fall for 2 days. I don't know how he does it. I'm not asking him any questions. I don't care, but the rain is not falling. And then there's also, if the rain does fall, what are the contingencies? Do you get? So I'll give you an example. First day of set, there was a character in the film who we had. So the film is pure Benin. So there was this particular guy who said, oh, no, he can speak the language, yeah, I'm good, So he came to set, prepared. First day of shoot, we were rolling. I was like, are you good? Yeah, I'm good, I'm okay. Yeah. Okay, roll camera, action. So he was speaking the language. I was like, yeah, good performance. Meanwhile, the cultural consultant was looking at me. He was doing like this. So I was like, but it's a good shot. He was like, this guy know they speak anything, So I went to the guy. I was like, yo, what's going on? The guy was like, yeah, let's do ADR. I was like, me and you, God forbid. So we had to cancel and recast. And in my 14 days, because we were supposed to do 14 days and 2 days rest, I had to make sure we had alternatives anyway, but to fly the alternative was the problem. So we had to kill 2 days and then, shoot back to back. But the point is that there was a plan, just in case. Imagine if there was no plan, right? So it's important that during your pre-production, you're working, even the budgets. Again, this is a 1-hour class. Some people really don't know how to do budgets. Sometimes people just say, okay, this is what I'm spending. But you don't know, this is how I will spend the money. So usually when we do budgets, we have a 6-page or maybe 4 pages of budget. So you have your main budget, you have a summary, then you have something called a forecast. So what the forecast does is it helps us spread the cash along. So I know that in the 6th of January, so I'm paying salaries. This is how much will be left in my account. This is what I would need. This is what I will keep as a backup, and so on and so forth. So that it helps me not go over budget. So when somebody comes and says, "Oh, that thing that I budgeted 7,000 is now 20," you will go and find the remaining money because I did not budget for it, or we have to manage. Do you get? Because sometimes when you're shooting, when there's big money, you don't even know the money is going. Somebody will come. Oh, we need to pay. We thought the extras were 20,000. It's 30,000. Okay, let's pay. That 30,000 now 300K has gone. Right? And then another amount of money has gone. Before you know it, they will tell you that you are 15 million naira above budget. So sometimes those things are important. So you have to understand before I get to set, before I start rolling the cam, I've already done the things I need to do. How many of you watch football? I don't watch football, by the way. But how many of you watch football? Before you enter into a match, they train, they plan. They know that Real Madrid, Figo, I know it's not Figo, that's all I can remember. I don't know shit. Just forgive me. Whoever the guy is playing, they know that this guy is a good right wing somebody. So when we are going, we'll now do 4-2-2 or something because we can anticipate. That's what pre-production is. So even if you're doing a short film, adverts, TikTok video, whatever, always plan. After you've planned, then there is the execution. So planning is one thing. Execution is another. The key department in any production, anything, is the one I call the production engine. It's a production team. It comprises of the line producer, the production manager, and the production coordinators. You see those people? They are the real engine of any production. It's not art department. It's not director. If those people are not doing the work that they're supposed to do properly, there's no shoot. Do you understand? So the line producer's job is to make sure that whatever it is that we've budgeted, we're not going over. Because a director can come today, and I've seen it, heard it happen. He's just going to come, he's like, we're shooting in this restaurant. So I want like 100, 100, people. Where am I getting the 100 people from? In fact, let me tell you one funny story. I'm not going to name the director, just moving on. So there was a thing I was doing, a show, and I had hired a director to do the show for me. We're going to shoot in Lagos Island. Now, to shoot in Lagos Island, that particular strip is run by armed robbers. For real. So if you want to shoot, you have to first pay the armed robbers, then pay Lagos State government to use the space. And I'm telling you, like, these guys were stabbing people while we're shooting. They just come, you mad? That kind of thing. I'm not even joking. Like, they'll just come to us, they'll be like, oh, 4 o'clock, don't reach you, how far? You go come out here, I'll go choke you knife. I'm like, that kind of thing. So it was a ghetto. Now, we were supposed to do a car chase scene. And this director, we had done a previs, which, as the executive producer, I'm like, this is what we need to do. We had done a whole day. I wasted my time sitting down, watching this guy do this nice presentation. The guy is going to do this. No problem. And we said it like that. We sent him to the place, all that stuff. Just to cut the long story short, I ended up directing that whole thing, but that's not the story. So we get, this was after the AMVCAs, like 3 years ago, I don't remember. I left the AMVCAs, came straight to set. And I see him on set. I'm like, okay, so based on what you said we are doing, how are we starting? The guy goes, then when I went to one place, he was like, oh, so there's a car. The car is going to come out from this place. They will now have children playing ball. Children playing ball from where? That's not what we discuss. What we discuss is, when I came here, I had an idea. You are gonna do that idea. It's not this one, because there's no. You say, oh, that when the car is coming, the car will splash. Then the children will be playing. But I say, you must be joking. I ended up directing the scene. He probably just did maybe one sequence out of the whole thing. But you came to set prepared. Where am I supposed to get children from? And I'm running at so we got there by 7. We're supposed to start rolling by 9. I'm supposed to leave there by 4, because there are people stabbing each other. And you want me to be doing, children playing? No, now. Do you get? So again, sometimes it's also important that even how you manage situations on set, because for me, yes, I was the executive producer, and I was like, no, we can't do this. This is what we will do. But there's some directors don't even send. So they'll just come and say, oh yeah, I need 70 people here. From where? Then you people will go and be looking for 70 people. Meanwhile, time is going. Right? Yeah, go ahead. What if it elevates the story? Let it elevate it in your mind. Leave it there. Right? Because that's why you have the production team. Because time is money. Do you understand? Remember, I took money from somewhere. It's not free money. And that money is time. And so if you didn't do it in pre-production, then we're not doing it on set. It's as simple as that. And so you have to learn to manage the situation. There's an importance in maintaining professional standards during production. You know that actors are acting. You know that they must have breakfast at so and so time. Have the breakfast at so and so time. They can't be acting. You say, oh, breakfast is still on its way. They've not even started cooking the breakfast. What are we doing? Do you understand? You have to be able to coordinate the way actors and crew members are. In Nollywood, there's always this big divide. If you're an actor, I'll put you in Ginger restaurant to eat. If you're a crew member, you eat outside. When I'm shooting, all of us are eating on the same table, including me. If you don't like the food, go and sit in your car and just be there. But we're all eating. There's a psychological thing that happens when everybody's eating in the same space. There's a mutual respect. Do you get? There was an actress or actor who was stressing a crew member, slapped the crew member 2 or 3 times. I went and spoke to her. She's an elderly woman. I didn't do anything to me. No. No problem. But she did it again. My sister works with me. She's head of HR, and my sister is not as nice as I am. My sister sent a very nice professional email. The woman was crying all night. Bought everybody pizza the next day. You have to learn to keep things, when you say it's X amount, you are coming to set 8 o'clock. Come to set 8. My session today was 11 originally, and the instruction said 10:30. I was in the parking lot 10:20. Do you get? Call time is 6, come by 6. If camera says we are rolling, try to roll by 6, except there's an issue, and if there's an issue, talk to the teammates. Not, what's going on? No, don't worry, don't worry till 4 p.m. Right? You have to have standards. And if you say we want to do global standards, it's not the way we are working in Nigeria. It's not like that. Or when we are on set, and the director is directing, makeup will say, excuse me, sir, so I think we should direct it like this. Your daddy is a mechanic. Why? Do you understand? Learn to respect the director. Learn to respect the director of photography. It's not your concern. If you want to shoot your own film, go and shoot. But while you are on my set, no. Do you get? Learn to understand the actor's process. You can't just be talking. Maybe if Peter Doce is here now, he's acting the scene, then you see one sound guy, Baba, can I take picture with you? When we're on set. Right? Then there's post-production. This is where all the elements come together, focusing on editing, sound, color grading to create a polished final product. You have to understand the process of post-production. What even is the reason for post? It's not when you're on set, you say, don't worry, we'll handle it in post. No, finish it on set first. So that when you go to post, you do the right thing, the right music, the right standards. So I'll give you an example. A lot of people don't really understand that when you finish making a film or a television show, there's something called broadcast standards. So you have to export the film. The sound needs to be in a format. The film itself needs to be in a format. There's a broadcast for it needs to be in a certain, there's so many things. But sometimes, and again, I'm not bashing YouTube people, but it's just enter, export, upload. So sometimes in this scene, the volume will be up. In this other scene, the volume will be down. But that's not international standards. There's a thing called QC. I don't know if you've ever heard of QC. Who's heard of QC? Not Queen's College, QC, quality control. There are some films you put in to pass through quality control, it will tell you failed. Because certain things were not done right. Even little things like aspect ratio. Aspect ratio means the size of the screen. They just wouldn't fit, and then they'll be fighting with you. You two be fighting, but it's not a film I did. No. I've seen films that when they are fighting, you just hear, or maybe the sound is delayed, like, you know. Now, if you can do these things professionally, your film, the way you are, the way you behave, the way you put your film together, what is the impact, the economic viability? Films that meet international broadcast standards attract better distribution deals, ensuring a longer profitable lifespan. So let me give you some inside gist. Is there any practitioner here before they hear me now? Okay. So let me give you some inside gist. So Netflix stopped investing. Okay, not stopped. They reduced investments in Nollywood films. Why? There was a whole year that we had the worst Nollywood films on Netflix. So the problem is that, apart from the fact that we don't even have as much subscribers, at the time they left, we had about 160 subscribers in country, which is nothing. Any film that they put, because of how, and this is no offense to the people who made the films, but those films don't go global. So even if they do go global, people don't necessarily watch it because of how shoddy the films are. And so what they now do is that when they get the film off you, it is only in Africa. Because if I'm going to spend $1 million or $700,000 on your film, and it's not commercially viable for me internationally, why then should I keep investing in the film? Do you understand? And apart from that, again, allegedly, a lot of other things were happening behind the scenes. So the film cost X amount. Say the film costs $700,000, and I want to hire you for the job, and on the budget is X amount. But I'll pay you the money and tell me to give me the remaining balance because I'm doing you a favor because it's a Netflix film. And it doesn't make sense. So when they do that, they're like, you know what? Maybe, you know what? You take the film, go and raise the money by yourself. Go and shoot. When you finish, take it to the cinema. When you finish, bring it to us. So what does that do? It now kills the industry. Now everybody's running to YouTube. Do you understand? Everybody's running to YouTube now. So that Netflix, Amazon space, even though Amazon left for another reason, but Netflix and Amazon space is now harder to get into because of people that were not being professional and not doing films that were professionally in the right space. So you see how that impacts us. Even me, like you now, you say, I'm sure at some point, maybe 2 years ago, yeah, I want to do a Netflix film. Now you can't do shit. Audience trust. Professional craft builds brand trust among audiences. I look at this film I just mentioned now, the one that's Chris Atto. Please, I didn't say the name of the film. Chris Atto has been in many films, just in case. But this one, I'm already turned off by the film. And like, if I see any film from this particular person, I probably would just be like, yeah, whatever. Even though there are some core, die-hard fans that will say, we'll go watch the rubbish like that. But the point is that there are other people that are just like, nah, I don't want to watch it. Because why? There was a certain film, which I wouldn't mention, that has something to do with this place that we are in, again, which I wouldn't mention, but it came out on Netflix. Like, there was a whole Twitter, like, everybody was saying that they should apologize for that film. Like, you have to apologize. No, this is wrong. Do you understand? And again, I'm sure the audience, whatever, they trust the person to do, but you've turned us off now. So when you come out and say you want to do another movie, we're just looking at you like, yeah, right. You've hurt us already, and it's hard to build that trust back. This is a whole film internationally. White people are looking at us and be like, this is Nigeria. No. And then we're there, we're like, oh, we're producers. No. So it's important. Even if you're doing YouTube, I have no issues with YouTube. Like, YouTube is great. But please, Like, don't do the same thing over and over again. Yes, we know that this guy has money. He wants to marry this girl, and you've done a 3-hour movie after. I get it. But please, like, let the story even make sense. Let it be good. Do you understand? And don't get me wrong. All these things I'm saying, people will still go and watch the film. But you can have a bigger audience. You can have a film. Look at this Tyler Perry's film, Acrimony. Till today, people are still talking about that film. Till today. Like, we're arguing about it. Like, yeah, and yes, we know Tyler Perry is a shitty director. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Tyler Perry, I got you. But, that film, people were talking about it to today. Again, no offense to the person. Again, no, I'm just saying. And it's okay if you want to play in the local leagues, nothing wrong with it. Division 3, good stuff. But you can't say that you want to join the international. Do you understand what I mean? Look at South Africa. I remember one time I was in SA, I was going to Cape Town, and I met a commissioning editor for MultiChoice on the plane. He was reading a script. And the guy was like, oh yeah, whatever. And I told him what we do. And rented a car, took us to one of his sets. Very small set, it's a small thing, professional female director rather. Very, professional. You see the sound guy in one place, another guy, everybody's just, very, when they say action, do you understand? Even me, I was busy asking questions, can I? And they'll look at me, I'll be like, hey. But in this place, are you rolling? No, God, oh God. And then we're not going to take our bad behavior outside, right? So no, if we want to, and you know what? Nollywood is the giant of, like the core, because everybody watches Nollywood. I was at Afrif some weeks ago. Some chick from Cote d'Ivoire. We look at you people, Nollywood. We love you people. We want to be like you. And I'm like, hey, wow, shit. God damn. They love our films. When they see Ake and Popo there, they will be dying as if it's Michael Jackson. I'm just like, what the hell? Do you get? In Jamaica, in all these places, like, they look at what's happening with Afrobeats. Do you understand? I know you guys are young, I'm sorry, I'm old, yeah, but if you see the Nigerian music we used to play before, Ifoma, I want to marry you, give me your love. That's music. And we hated it, so we'd rather listen to Nas, all these other guys. Then P Square came, with the Usher thing, And then before I know it, Wizkid. And everybody just, okay, Afrobeats is a new thing. And we just stayed in our lane, but what did we do? We're still singing our rubbish. But it was professionally done. I can somebody singing, take banana till you go, 14 times one song. But the production quality, correct. Do you understand? It's like how and the way people see Afrobeats is how we see Amapiano. Do you understand what they are saying? Do you like this? But we like it. That's why they cannot judge us for the lyrics, because we are saying nonsense, but it's okay. But guess what? It has a global sound, and that's what people are listening to. Do you understand? And you have Nigerian producers making stuff. Like those early days, Don Jazzy used to make stuff. There was a song that called "Lift Off" with Beyonce and what's his name? What's that guy that says the bipolar rapper? Kanye West. Don Jazzy made a song. It's called "Lift Off." It's a beautiful song. It's not popular, but it was, then those days. Do you understand? And then you can see the contrast, because there was a time when D'banj did a song with Kanye, and he was just so off-looking. But I mean, it's okay, So why can't we be like that, right? Why can't we make good stuff? Maybe things fall apart on a good scale, or maybe even love in another language or whatever it's called. On a, maybe the girl will meet. What's the hottest guy in Hollywood now? Timothy Chalamet. And maybe she'll fall in love with an American guy, be like love in every word, 7, just nice quality, that kind of thing. We can do it. Thank you very much, guys. It was nice having this conversation with you. God bless you.